How's everything going? Happy 3/11 day. I don't know if you like the musicians, but nice in March. I hope everyone's doing it well. I am doing much better. So what's been going on? February was such a busy month. So much happened. One death, one person had surgery. Weekend before last, my mother-in-law went and had knee surgery, so I went to stay with her. Standby assist, it's not like I can do any heavy lifting, but you know, kind of that little encouragement. That's one thing you think about, folks, when especially in bereavement, a spouse or others, you know, a close person, but especially spouse, people have that vacuum of having that person next to them and checking in on them. I mean, you know, there's truly something with the culture of bringing a casserole or checking on. Sometimes people need that comfort and that presence. So that was nice. I learned a new trick. If this ever happens, she didn't have milk in her house, and she had like not a lot of food, but you know, like you can't live on nutritional drink alone. And when you can chew, you should probably eat some good foods. And especially for wound healing after surgery, you need to eat a little more protein. You need to eat foods with vitamin C, a little zinc, get a little vitamin E, you know, this good healing things. So made sure I tried some of the recipes. You know, I've been my boring life, watching, especially when I was like watching the Facebook reels, and oh my God, some of this food, it's like if Americans eat that terrible, you know, there's a lot of I'm sorry if you are of this generation, I'm not knocking you in any way, but the millennials, and of course it was a lot of product placement in it. And it was this can after this can after this can after, and add a slab of warm cream cheese. It's just, your arteries, your blood pressure, you shouldn't, you know, add some fruits and vegetables, you know, albeit some of them had the frozen veggies, but just too much meat, too much cream, too much canned things. You know, you have to have a good variety of your diet. You know, it's like, even though for ALS, we're supposed to eat higher protein and, you know, eat the carbs and eat that, you just can't have that much salt. But I didn't realize it's soft marketing. But I found this one dish. It was, of course, it had cans in it. A little bit of beef and golden mushroom, 2 cans of that, and 2 cans of French onion soup, which, you know, that's got a lot of salt in it, over egg noodles, and she loved it. I added onions, and I added garlic, and I added some mushrooms, and I added, you know, just little things that actually, you know, add to it. So she enjoyed it. Did a lot of cooking and freezing, and things that were easy. Ended up I was going to make her French toast. She liked that. And she didn't have any milk, so I had my yogurt, which is the high protein Yoplait with like 3 grams of carbs. And it wasn't terribly sweet, so I had a little sugar for it and some more cinnamon. It was peach. And then let it get room temperature, popped it in the microwave for 15 seconds. That's actually what I did. Added 2 eggs. It gave the bread a good consistency. And she bought Great Value yogurts, which have too much sugar. So I didn't add anything, but made that French toast. And I just made a bunch. I made her 2 weeks of French toast for every morning. Cut up strawberries, because that's a little pop of vitamin C. Put some in the fridge, put some in the freezer. You know, just did a couple of little things to get her cooked. You know, made pinto beans and bought cornbread. Yeah, simplicity. But she was not eating much, just drinking those shakes. So, you know, you kind of get somebody back to eating. You know, to heal, you need to eat. To maintain with a disease like ALS, you need to eat. Those of us that have lost the swallowing, you know, the nutrition helps. So that was nice. You know, It was good, but I ended up doing too much with my right hand and spasticity hit. So my right arm was kind of gone for the beginning of last week into most of that last week. So it can move now, but it wasn't doing so good. And I know eventually it's just not going to come back, but I'm glad it did. So I'm just kind of watching things ALS-wise. I've had more days where I just tire out. I'm sleeping with a CPAP, which really helps. No headaches. But I feel in the morning, it's like spasticity gets me. And I feel like I'm like just squeezed. You know, it's like I have the deep undulation, fasciculations in my stabilizing muscles in my legs and my pelvis. But it's just, you know, waking up really tight. So try to, you know, I'm going to leave some baclofen and my gabapentin next to my bed because it takes a lot of stretching and my PT things in the morning to get up to do it. So therefore, I'm doing okay that way. Got myself a walker, so I'm using the walker now. And I had one that I originally had that was, you know, just a tiny one. My short arms, tall, and it, you know, the base of my balance was not good with having to lean over so far. You know, the more you lean, the closer your face is down, the more likely you are to fall. So this one doesn't do that. It's pretty good. So I went, I had done, I know I had mentioned my last one, I had done the Artful and the LLFDDS, because the C9 stuff, my dad had FTD. So I enrolled in that study, and I was in that study before I got ALS. So they've caught the whole capture of the disease process with me. Of course, they want to throw things to the wall. My neuropsych testing has not changed. I still have ADHD, but you know, it's like answering all the different questionnaires. It's kind of like they throw so many questionnaires at you of all different parts. Some of it's psych, some of it's looking for dementia, some of it's looking this way in supranuclear palsy, which no, I don't have that. They throw this, they throw that. It's just a lot, but you know, having to deal with some of those. Found an email, but when I was doing the MRI, where they're scanning my brain, I had earplugs. They're going to let me listen to music of my choice while I was going through it. And it was at a thing, when the machine started, you know, all the magnets going, I couldn't hear the music anymore. I saw the lovely bike through Norway. It was beautiful. Norway looks like a beautiful place. But they were trying to talk to me, and with things in my ear, I couldn't hear him. And, you know, not me saying, I can't hear you. I'm like, okay. And that was because the weird thing with my eyes moving was happening. The nystagmus that's more seen in Parkinson's patients, but also could be a side effect of the baclofen. They will never admit that, though. I'm on the highest dose. The next part I would have to do that is have an internal pump of baclofen. And of course, I look at all the side things. You know, it's like you get the baclofen pump if it malfunctions or it gets empty. You could have seizures. So it's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want to end up in ICU. No, thank you. Anyway, so I couldn't hear. And I figured, you know, I felt really... You know, I'm weakened I'm the paper tiger. I look great. I can move my arms. I can lift them up. I can walk. Yeah, it's not the prettiest walk, but I can walk. And I'm still functional in most places. But, you know, you think one little thing, being in that MRI, my neck got too weak and my head was just laying there. And I had a headache. I had people talking and I couldn't hear what they hear. It makes you feel very vulnerable when you can't hear what others are talking to you. and you're in pain because your neck isn't strong enough. I mean, it's a vulnerability thing. And then they asked me if I wanted to draw the blood for the lumbar puncture. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I'll come back. I did for science. And for science, I don't think I'm going to do that study anymore. You know, I am still pretty functional, but I'm getting weaker. And I don't necessarily want to put myself through the ringers while I'm weaker. Make a boundary. But I decided, after I got back from my mother-in-law, my arm worked again, that, you know, I had made an appointment to get my hearing checked. As a kid, my mom was one of those that took us to every disease party. You know, we all got chicken pox. Apparently we got measles and we got mumps. So I've always had a hard time hearing, you know, since my childhood. It's just been a little bit worse. So guess what? Found out I need hearing aids. You know, it's not, I have lost the upper ranges. So waiting for my insurance to call and tell me I have an appointment. But thankfully, you know, it's the nice thing about having a Part C for Medicare here in the States. You know, up to, I think, $1,900, my hearing aids will be covered. And I know they can be really expensive. But, I mean, hey, that's looking forward to it. I'll be able to hear again. You know, I think when you're looking at it to get to the point when you're in a chair and if I lose my voice, I've been having more spasticity in my throat. And in the morning, my voice is very ragged. It's, everybody perceives it as I'm being mean, but it's not. It's just a ragged voice. And, you know, eating foods, like I had to be careful. You know, it's like one of those things, don't eat when other people are asleep. Is what I've decided to do, because I was eating a mozzarella stick. I love those things. And I felt like my throat didn't let it go through. And I was drinking fluids, grabbed a banana and helped push it through. But that's scary. So that doesn't bode well, but, you know, keep on ticking, you know. I still have that thought in my head, my nursing school education. The nursing theory was Dorothea or Orem, self-care. So I'm an ornery one. I know I'm getting more vulnerable and I'm getting weaker, but I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. Just went and had a bone scan last November, and they told me to follow the primary doctor. So I did. And bone density is low. I have osteopenia, which it's just, you know, it's a familial thing. It's like when you get towards that perimenopause, menopause thing in my family, you start to lose your bones. I noticed on my CT after I had a car accident in 2018 that my spine was great. My lumbar spine was great. When I had that spasticity episode that put me in the hospital in June, my lumbar spine was not great. It was decaying. And so I had it checked after I had my mammogram. And yeah. So I went to my doctor. I'm now on Fosamax, which is that dangerous one you have to sit up and swallow and take with a full glass of water. And you could only be on it for 5 years. Otherwise, you might lose the top bones in your mouth. I have a second mother who actually had that happen. So apparently there was lawsuits about Fosamax. And it was that there's a certain B vitamin, I don't know if it's B6 or B5, one of the Bs, that when people didn't have enough of it, that's what the side effect happened. So I went and got myself some methylated B vitamins, B complex. So I take that. The methylation is if you can't absorb the B vitamins, right? So I know with ADHD and with others, I would rather have the most absorbable B vitamins. So I'm doing that. You know, it's like, okay, you have ALS, you're going to die. But I still want to keep my health up until that happens. You know, I have a very slow progressing ALS. So who knows how long I'll live? You know, I don't know. I mean, I could be gone next week. I could be gone in a year. I could be gone in 10 years. I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't think anybody with ALS knows exactly how long they'll be. You know, it's like some people go very rapidly. You know, it's like I had 2 uncles that died within 18 months. Since I do have a familial type of ALS. The fact that I'm 4 years, 4 years and 5 months, ish, living with it, and I'm still doing this. Hey, my diaphragm is still strong, so that's a good thing. I'm still doing the pranayama, the yogic breath. I think that helps. Use a muscle. You know, don't abuse a muscle. You know, not that you can really just stop breathing. Apnea, yeah. But, you know, hopefully that's not for a long time. So I have a CPAP that can be converted to AVAP, so that's a good thing. I don't know, just thinking about it, you know, it's... So doing that, I mean, just health stuff, you know, it's like my family, you know, is doing okay as much as they can after the loss of my father-in-law. People grieve differently, you know, I'm very much an emotional griever. I'm very emotional about it. You know, we went through, February was also the anniversary. It was my sister that passed away's birthday, which my baby sister has been struggling with her death. And she told me, I'll be mad at you when I die. And I'm like, that's not my responsibility, and it's not my choice when I die. I kind of want to live. So I'm kind of asking her to get help, you know, moving it along. You know, she said that she'll think about it. Boy, things that you will take on and you won't take on. I don't want to take that on. You know, it's like, you know, that my sister's kids and her husband, and, you know, reached out to my adult nieces, and, you know, just a little bit of love their ways. My oldest niece's birthday is sometime soon. I need to sell her something. Let's see. And then my uncle, who had died by suicide, his anniversary, my mom's and death anniversary, and then my dad's. So it's like, you know, I don't really catch the date of death. I mean, I like to remember the person and my grief. You know, I push myself through it. I get the help, and that it's just kind of melancholy, a little bit sad, but it's over now. But I have family members still dealing with it, so got my little one in counseling because the grief has been hard. You know, the kid has lost a lot of people. You know, my husband's best friend, which was her godfather, my mother, her aunt, my sister, and now her grandfather on the other side. So definitely want to keep that up. I was told by my counselor for children that if they have a major loss, you want to get them the help, because they can have attachment issues after that. Now, in my area, I live in Houston, there's Bo's Place, which helps kids, and it, you know, it's low cost to free counseling for children after they lose people. And I would recommend, if you have any children, you have ALS, you know, definitely with the ALS Association, you know, they do have support for children, but also ask your social worker, and I hope you're in an ALS clinic. It makes things so simple, so much simpler. But ask the social worker and about any bereavement care, and especially for age appropriate, if you would want to do that. I have this book. And remember the Beetlejuice movie? It's the book for those recently departed. I put a lot of the my passwords, and, you know, numbers to things, this and that, and the bereavement information for my family. It's just one of those things to help me take care of it. Just hard. Yeah, if you look behind me, I'm talking about this. This is Hernandez's work, and it's Ian Curtis from Joy Division, and Dead Souls, Love Will Tear Us Apart. When I was a teenager, oh my goodness, people If they hear Joy Division, they think of me. I just love that band so much. You know, I still love Peter Hooks and the Lights. I think they're coming in the fall. I'm gonna try to go to it again. You know, I just love the music. I do. I love, love, love music. So, it's been kind of, you know, just my husband has been doing his thing. He grieves more cerebrally, more in his mind than emotional. But, you know, just seeing his part and just trying to be mindful of being there for them and just trying to also bring happiness in. You know, you can't, emotions aren't stable, you know, they, you know, facilitate, they move, they go around, they go back, they, you know, just change. So, you know, as much as difficult things are, bringing happiness in, like my little girl wants to paint with me tomorrow. So I'll paint with her, you know, not that I have that much accuracy. I told her my fine motor is not quite normal. Mommy can't paint like she used to, but we will try, you know. She's really talented. That's actually a talent she has. She's being 7th grade, her art teacher wants her in advanced art. Her school counselor said that the high school has a lot of art, you know, lots of art tracks for her. So that's wonderful. You know, you just want to help. So I definitely want my little one to have the care so she grieves and she doesn't have attachment issues later. You can't control it, and I taught DeBo's place, and they're like, if you keep worrying about it, you're going to go sooner. It's like, okay, I can't worry about it. Oh, it's kind of neat. There's a group called Wish Upon a Wedding, and I was accepted, me and my husband. So sometime this year, hopefully, we will renew our vows, and they're going to throw a beautiful wedding for us. You know, they're going to get me a dress. I hope I like it. They're going to get me a dress and flowers, videographer, photographer. It'll have, we can have up to 50 guests, and they'll do the place. And it's just going to be beautiful. I know it's going to be beautiful. When I have more information, I'll share it. Just happy. I mean, that's kind of like one of those events where you can have happiness, the pictures, the video. That's going to mean a lot when I'm gone. You know, when we do silly little things, like we went to, in Hempstead, Texas, they have a old school Pizza Hut, like, you know, back in like the 80s and 70s. They even had the old Pizza Hut guy that looked like that. You know, we missed the buffet, but the buffet only had pizza. So they're going to get a salad bar, which I love salad. While I can chew it, I will eat it. So we had that and the mozzarella sticks, and it was good. It was really good. It was a nice little thing, but we definitely took pictures. You know, I'm silly. So I know that in Houston proper, they have blue bonnets, but they just have the yellow and the pink flowers out so far. So I definitely want to get some blue bonnet pictures. You know, it's like they have the blue phosphorescent waves. We're talking about going and seeing that, but all considering, it's not one thing you want to start through, because yes, it's the plankton, but there's also a high bacteria level in the water when that happens, and ew. So I talked to my doctor about my, you know, the osteoporosis risk. So he put me on the Fosamax, which I take weekly, and he also put me on estrogen. And I noticed that I was having like a lot of sleep problems and, you know, just aches, and my, you know, I would think that it's because my ALS, my, you know, things were, my body movements, my joints, just a little bit worse. And being on the estrogen cream I'm on, I got prescribed to help my bones. It seems like my moods have been lifted, and of course it's not the time, it's not February, but it seems like that has really lifted. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, as long as I can be on it, you know, I want to live and live as well as I can. So that's why I seek, you know, maintenance health. I'm not ready to give the towel in. I know that there's not anything that can necessarily stop my disease while I'm not on clinical drugs, like the Koya one. That, I think that one's going to be, it was really great for me. So I'm hoping that that progresses and the IRB, Internal Review Board, clicks it along. FDA is just too slow on ALS drugs. You know, it's annoying. So hopefully that will get to be something that I'll be able to be on again. No, I can say I was giving it the injections in my belly, and my insulin doesn't seem to do as well now. So I have to use other sites for my insulin. I guess I have scar tissue. So there's you know, side effects. I mean, any ALS research drug can they tell you can cause you to suddenly progress worse and die. So it's a big risk. Though when you're fatal and you're dying, some people want to take it. You know, though I never thought I would be in one. You know, I'm kind of shocked I was able to be in one. So will I ever be in one again? I have no idea. I'm not the one that makes the decisions. You know, I'm just glad I'm still here. So it's going to be kind of a busy coming months. Kind of slower in March. It's spring break, so we're going to do some things and, you know, look to organization and doing some things in the yard. Not me. I will direct. Get the oak tree taken care of. Take out that bush that died. Can we mulch? You know, it's like the times in recent years I've helped mulch, I don't think I can do it now. It's just like the overuse. I have to be, you know, like making multiple things of French toast. I couldn't use an arm for a while. Now my doctor said to help bone things, you want to walk, and it's like, yes, I can walk, but I was told by my physical therapist at the ALS clinic not to overdo it, because if I overexert, I'm more likely to progress faster. You know, to use the power chair at night. Oh, speaking of the power chair, I have an ALS wish list. Yeah, it'll be down at the end of this video. Well, someone, Helena, thank you so much. But unfortunately, the seat that I was going to use to augment the other seat, my cat, Mojo, bless his soul, he passed away. But he had bladder stones, and he decided to pee on the seat of my power chair. $65,000 machine. And I was able to wash it and did the angry orange and did everything I could and blew it up. It just is still, the seat's not quite right. So I was thinking, well, if I put that one on top of it, maybe it'll work. Well, the seat was such a blessing to have purchased, but apparently it got lost in the system. And I spoke to Amazon today, and they should refund you, Helena. But thank you so much for that lovely gift. Unfortunately, Amazon, the mini hoonies are in the system. But I did ask them to refund you. So my first thing on the ALS helpful list, apparently, you know, the wins that may be. But hopefully, I mean, I use Amazon a lot. I don't think that should happen more. So if you should so want to feel like you want to bless me, I would appreciate it. It's not needed. You don't have to. So that's that. You know, I don't know. It seems like a lot of things. It's kind of like, yay. Oh, that's been happening a lot. I don't know what. I mean, I'm a nice person. I do things for good people, for other people. You know, lead the meditations. I led another meditation tonight, help people. That makes me feel good. You know, I probably should actually really spend the time and make another channel and do meditations. Yeah. But there's so many other channels with meditations. I mean, you know, it's like, is it going to really take off? Is it going to really mean something to someone? I have no idea. So people keep telling me, so I should. So what else is going on? Let's see. So I should be, Dave Matthews is coming in end of May here. So I usually take my kids. And with my kids and their issues, you know, my little one's like, it's okay. You know, I took her, she's going to get a little bit older and then she'll want to go. My oldest loves it, But she's got a lot of things going on right now. It was difficult over the holidays because she was going through crisis, and I was there to help her. I feel like my whole family, it's like I'm the strong person, and it's like y'all need to learn how to take care of yourselves. And I love you, and I'll be a standby assist, but I can't do it. And that's something for me. You know, it's like I usually want to help everyone. I'll go over the limb and push myself to help them. But I've got to stop doing that. It's not good for my health. You know, but I guess that's wisdom, isn't it? But see, I don't know what I'm going to do in April. It'll probably get filled up with other things. In June, I'm going to an event in DC and then flying back. And then we're going to, me and my daughters are going to go up. I don't know if my son-in-law's coming. We're going to go up and go by South Dakota, where my great grandfather, oh no, it's my great grandfather, not my great, my kid's great, my great grandfather died in a mine, the Homestake mine, gold mining. And, you know, they're now using it for physics. You know, it's now going for good because it's so deep. But it's like an old gold mine. You can actually pan for gold. And then we're going to Bismarck, North Dakota, where my little sister lives. Work on her not being so angry. I don't know. It's unresolved grief. You know, it's like you really have to work on it. You know, there's so many different parts of life. I mean, we grieve when we have ALS. We grieve when we get diagnosed. Our families grieve when we get diagnosed. And that's a part of it, but there's also the part of life. Yes, you have it. I still have ALS. I have brown eyes. My hair is usually curlier than it is, but, you know, it's like I have the reddish hair. I have a silly laugh and an odd sense of humor. So, oh my goodness, you know what today is? Well, not today, 2 days ago. 4 years ago, I retired nursing. Yeah, March of 2020, I retired nursing. I've been through pandemics. Something I said, some will get sick, some will die, most will be okay. And that was right. That's exactly what's happened. And yes, I lost a mother to COVID. My mom died of Omicron. You know, the weakest one, but it killed her because she was weak because she had COPD. But, you know, we all have gone through losses. Those of us that are still here, you know, I think of how many people I know in my ALS support group, people that I know that are here on YouTube. I've made a friend with somebody that's on YouTube. They passed away. There's another one that has my genetic mutation. He does a great podcast, Jimmy. He's still with us. And he's still like me. It's like those of us that are the odd ones that are slow progressors. I don't know. I mean, it's a luck of a draw. It's our own individual. No one's neurosystem is exactly the same. They're all generally along the same lines, but ALS doesn't work the same way through people's nervous systems. And, you know, it's like the toxicity of my disease, you know, the C9, it's an RNA form. And the little taus build up and the bad stuff happens and it does that inflammation. So I try to eat as much as I can a non-inflammatory diet. I take my vitamin D. I take my vitamin C. I do take vitamin E. Now that's going to save me. Just, you know, if anything, it's helped me not get so sick. So all is well. I'm looking forward to doing my summer things, and then hopefully we get to renew our vows near our actual anniversary in July. If not, you know, I think, you know, it's going to be our 10-year anniversary. We dated for a long time and then got married. I can't say that I'll be here for the 15. I can't say that I'll be here for the 20th. I can't even say that something could happen. I won't be here for the 10th. impermanence. You know, you kind of have to just go with what the day goes. You know, there's always things changing all around us all the time. And I hope to be here. I think I will be. You know, I think things are going to get better. I knew things would get better. You know, nothing ever stays on one cycle. You know, you can give it, the fear of the disease is something you have to take care of. I mean, that's something that you have to push beyond that fear into acceptance. You know, I'm at the point of acceptance and surrender. And that's hard because I have been such a hyper independent person. It's hard for me to be so vulnerable. That's been hard for me, but I'm getting better at it, and that seems a little more freeing. So we'll be doing a road trip, and we're going to break through the road trip because, you know, in the cars, you know, I found that in my travels for my advocacy, you know, I get kind of spastic after being in the car. I try to drink, but I still get spastic. So we're going to break it down to a 2-day drive. I don't know. You know, so I was going for my hearing test. And my husband was going to be taking his mom for physical therapy. So he couldn't go with me. So that was, the arm still wasn't strong, so I couldn't drive. So I called an Uber. Uber lady was really sweet. She helped me get my walker in the back, sat down, and we were driving in a hospital security car was driving, and she was like, ooh, she was an immigrant and legal citizen from Cuba. And she said the police in Cuba were scary because if they come, you may disappear. That's not good. So talked with her, and apparently she came on a religious visa, Jehovah's Witness. To each their own. I'm not one, you know, my mom and her evangelical stuff when I was younger, she's kind of into that. It's almost cultish evangelical, you know, the stuff the Duggars are in. It was kind of like that kind of thing. I always got in trouble because I've always had you know, I'm a truth sayer. I'm a speak up person. I'm a person that talks. And that was not, you know, I was not meek, and they did not like that. So, you know, a little bit of religious trauma. So, you know, to each their own. I respect everybody's own belief system, and they have the right to it. But it was like, please don't go talk to me about Jehovah. Please, 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 please. And she didn't. We talked about foods, and we talked about her experience in that. And I got there, and she was really sweet. Gave her a good rating, gave her a tip. Got in, saw the doctors. They were great. Came down, sat down, waiting for my husband to come pick me up, and talked to a security guard. And the security guard was very vocal about politics. And, you know, I'm an independent. I have some core beliefs on safety issues. And she was part of the Christian nationalism type things. And it was like, oh my God, there's a thing between good and evil right now. Blah, 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 blah. And why don't you, blah, 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 the people that are coming across the borders. And it's like, oh my goodness. So I told her my opinions in kindness, and it was a dialogue. And I told her that I was a Christian, well, Christian Buddhist, Christian with Buddhist philosophy, federalist. I believe in the federalist system and democracy. And nationalism, I believe, whether it's Christian, I don't think theocracy leads to democracy. And I think that everybody with whatever religious choice or that lack thereof deserves equal rights. I believe in democracy. And, you know, I told her God bless her, and she said, God bless me. And it's like, okay. You know, it was like between two things of two people that, you know, hey, Steve Hassan wrote a book, and it meets the bite mark over people in the orange or red hat cult. And if you're that person, I wish you love, I wish you peace, I wish you safety. I don't think you're a bad person. I think we don't agree on beliefs, and that's okay. Everybody has a right to their own beliefs. So, but I got through that, and of course I got home, and I was like, ooh, get me to get the covers over my head. So what a time. I don't know. That's just kind of what it is. I mean, I'm just a spaz. I'm spastic. It's, how do you describe spasticity? You see it a lot in people with cerebral palsy. And it's just, you know, it's like, it feels like I'm in a vice, like, you know, being crushed. That's how it feels. You know, whether it's my hand that doesn't work. So when it's going, you know, I did my deltoid, you know, try to do this exercise to relax it. My hands, you know, it's like my pinkies are sticking out more, even more than they were before. And I'm having some fasciculations along this side of my hand, my right hand, which I'm right hand dominant. My left hand is just weaker. Paper tiger. But it's the deep rolling fasciculations in my stabilizing muscles. That's just a really weird feeling. It's like this undulations going through from my hips, through my sides of my thighs into that. It's just a weird feeling. And then my neck gets really stiff and it kind of goes out. It's just everything, my muscles are hard. And that makes it harder to walk too. And more dangerous to walk too. So, I don't know. I look pretty sitting down. And, you know, if I'm sitting down and I'm doing, no one thinks something's wrong, you know. So it's a slow disease. It's just one piece off, another piece off, another piece off. And I'll just stay here and just keep going as long as I can. I don't know. My new thing is, you know, yeah, I saw it on social media, but, you know, finding the glimmers, you know, the little things that are joyful in the day. Kind of like my find the beauty in the day, but it's just little bits of happiness, you know, because life has so many emotions. There's so many things going on in so many lives. I mean, inflation, trying to find a job that you can make enough up for, you know. Even the inevitable thing of watching on Amazon, something's supposed to be delivered over and over, and it keeps changing, keeps changing. I'm so sorry that happened. It's never happened to me before. So, go figure. This time of the year, when you keep going and everything's happening, you keep going, and it's like one thing after another happens, after another happens. It's like, just another virtual thing of that happening. But that's what's going on. Gonna have some fun, and it's going to be St. Patrick's Day on Sunday. I consider myself lucky. I am lucky. It can go both ways. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you have a blessed St. Patrick's Day and enjoy the luck of the Irish and the joy of that. You know, it's Lent time, it's Ramadan, it's a lot of different holidays that way. Time of abstinence for a time of beauty. Take time to, you know, center, find yourself, whatever helps you. Prayer, meditation, listening to music, spending time with a friend, drinking a good cup of coffee or tea. You know, center yourself and find that base. It really does help. And always look for the glimmers of good and joy, and also find that beauty in the day. It's really there. If you look for it, you will find it. If you look at the cracks, you're going to see more cracks. If you look for beauty, you're going to see more beauty. All right. Thanks for listening to me, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys. I'll see you later.